The tragic events of 9/11 became a motivating factor for thousands of young men to enlist in the Army to fight for our country. There was also a heavy contingent of retired soldiers who felt compelled to serve a second tour of duty. Included in that group was Specialist Rodney Price.
I decided to re-enlist in 2005 after 9/11. That's the second time American soil's been hit, in our history. And
thank you for your hard.
This was just a lot worse. I mean, they were terrorists from the Middle East. We've had terror attacks on our bases in the Middle East before. We just needed to go take care of business. And I figured since I was prior service, I had a lot to offer.
In 2005, Specialist Price was deployed to Mosul, Iraq, a hotbed of insurgent activity that meant long days and sleepless nights.
When I first got to Mosul, I was in the motor pool helping out because we had a small amount of mechanics, so we were spread thin for a while. But we were pretty vigilant on the walls, keeping an eye across the wall. We were right in the city of Mosul, so it was a little hot pocket there. You could hear small arms fire all around us all the time.
Despite being stationed in a hostile environment, Specialist Price didn't always feel that he was in imminent danger.
Some days it was like getting up here, waking up here and going through your daily routine. But then there was other days when you just had that feeling that something wasn't right.
One of those days snuck up on him when he least expected it. On a rare day off, the sound of mortar sirens suddenly filled the air.
I went to the front door to see exactly what was happening because we could hear the mortars hitting really close. There was a mortar that hit, I'd say 8 to 10 feet probably from me. I felt like I was hit by a truck. And the one thing I can remember hearing was, don't try to get up, your legs are hit. And I remember looking down and my pants were just black with blood. I remember them carrying me into a common area that was pretty fortified inside the building. I remember not being able to breathe really well. I had my right lung collapsed.
Rodney had sustained multiple traumatic injuries that included shrapnel in his heart, lungs, and legs. His only saving grace was being surrounded by fellow soldiers before he had a chance to bleed out.
I had 4 or 5 of my best friends there that saved my life because they weren't able to get me to the cache real quick. We were still under fire for, I think they said 20 to 30 minutes. It was a nightmare there. It was a really nightmare.
Specialist Price would spend the next several months in recovery before eventually being discharged and medically retired due to the severity of his injuries. Though his body is still functional, his mind is plagued by the memories of his experience in Iraq.
I have PTSD, got a traumatic brain injury. My heart, they say it's great, even with the 2 pieces of shrapnel in there. My legs are one of the main things that bug me a lot. It has changed my life quite a bit. I don't work anymore. I can't work the same job I had before.
Rodney Price is one of many veterans whose lives were forever changed by his time in Iraq. Thanks to his courage and loyalty to country, things are starting to fall in place back home.